During the chaos of the Second World War, when every resource was stretched thin and, well, survival hinged on self-reliance, people found ingenious ways to feed themselves and keep soil productive with almost nothing. Among the many forgotten wartime methods, one stands out for its sheer efficiency and simplicity, a technique so effective that it kept gardens fertile for years without constant feeding. It was known among soldiers and civilians alike as trench gardening. This wasn't about planting in trenches for protection. It was about using the soil itself as a composting engine, recycling every scrap of organic waste beneath the surface to create a continuous supply of fertility. This method was born out of necessity, but perfected by experience. And when you understand how it worked, you'll realize why it's one of the most sustainable soil-building techniques ever developed. By 1941, victory gardens had become as important to the home front as bullets were to the front lines. Bombings and blockades disrupted food imports, fertilizers were rationed, and even manure became scarce. Gardeners needed a method that used what they had, kitchen scraps, leaves, paper, and even ashes, to keep crops growing without purchased fertilizer. That's when trench gardening took hold. It was first adopted in Britain, where families learned to dig trenches about a foot deep and fill them with organic waste layered with soil. These hidden compost corridors broke down slowly beneath the roots, supplying nutrients season after season. Unlike surface composting, which needed turning and space, trench composting worked underground, quietly, constantly, and without maintenance. The result was soil that kept improving, even during years when no new fertilizers could be found. The method turned waste into wealth, and it became the backbone of wartime self-sufficiency. Trench gardening worked because it imitated the natural cycle of decomposition in forests and meadows. Instead of dumping organic material in a pile to rot, gardeners buried it directly where future crops would grow. The combination of moisture, warmth, and microbial activity created a steady breakdown process that fed plants from below. The key was layering. The typical wartime recipe involved alternating kitchen scraps with garden soil, with each organic layer no thicker than 2 inches. This ensured that microbes always had contact with mineral soil, allowing decomposition to happen evenly and without odour. The trench was then sealed with a few inches of soil on top, locking in nutrients and keeping pests away. As the buried material decayed, it transformed into rich humus, releasing nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus gradually. It also improved soil texture, allowing air and water to move freely. The longer the trench sat, the better the soil became. By the second year, the topsoil was darker, looser and more fertile than any chemical fertilizer could have produced. One of the greatest strengths of the World War II trench gardening method was its longevity. Instead of composting everything at once, gardeners worked in sections. A garden might have 3 or 4 active trenches, each dug and filled in rotation. While one section decomposed underground, another was planted, and another was being prepared. This system ensured that there was always a source of fertility developing below the surface. When properly managed, a single trench could feed plants for up to 3 years. The underground compost line acted like a slow-release fertilizer, supplying nutrients in sync with plant demand. Rainwater leaches soluble minerals horizontally through the root zones, creating a gentle, natural feeding cycle. This is the same principle modern regenerative farmers use when they bury compost or green manure in strips. The difference is that the World War II version used household scraps and hand tools, proving that soil regeneration doesn't require fancy technology, just an understanding of how life works underground. To bring this lost wartime method into your modern garden, start with a simple trench, about 10 inches deep and 12 inches wide, running the length of your bed. If you're planting shallow-rooted crops like lettuce or beans, dig your trench down the middle. For deeper-rooted crops like tomatoes or corn, offset the trench slightly to one side so the roots can grow into it naturally. Fill the bottom with organic waste. Vegetable peels, coffee grounds, crushed eggshells, grass clippings and dry leaves. Avoid meat or oily foods. Alternate each organic layer with soil so there's constant contact between decomposing material and microbes. Once your trench is half full, cover it completely with 3 to 4 inches of soil and water it thoroughly. You can plant immediately above it, or let it rest for a few weeks before planting. Either way, the decomposition will begin almost instantly. The buried line will heat slightly at first as microbes get to work, then stabilize as it turns into rich humus. Over time, that hidden compost corridor will act as a feeding tube, distributing nutrients upward and outward. A practical rotation system can make this sustainable indefinitely. Each year, dig a new trench beside the previous one, shifting slightly across the bed. After 3 or 4 years, the entire garden will have cycled through decomposing and planting phases, leaving behind a fully enriched and well-structured soil base. During the war, trench gardening didn't just feed plants, it healed soil. Many gardens were carved into compacted clay-heavy ground that had seen little care before. The buried organic matter loosened those soils over time, allowing roots to penetrate deeper and improving drainage. At the same time, it helped sandy soils retain moisture and nutrients that would otherwise wash away. In practice, gardeners found their soil improved every year, even without additional fertilizer. Crops grew stronger, resisted drought better, and yielded more consistently. The method literally built soil from the inside out, something modern organic growers now strive to achieve using similar techniques like hugel culture and subterranean composting. The World War II trench gardening trick was more than survival ingenuity. It was a blueprint for sustainable agriculture long before the term existed. It allowed ordinary people to maintain fertility without chemical inputs, reduced waste to zero, and made every scrap of organic material valuable again. For today's gardener, it offers the same promise. Instead of, managing bulky compost heaps, you can create fertility exactly where plants need it, below the surface. Every peel, leaf or weed becomes part of an underground food web that feeds your garden continuously. The soil becomes alive, self-sustaining, and steadily more productive. Once you establish your first trench, you'll notice a difference within months. Healthier plants, richer soil, and honestly, less need for outside amendments. Keep building those trenches in rotation, and within a few seasons you'll have a garden that practically feeds itself. So, if you're ready to reconnect with one of the most effective wartime gardening methods ever developed, grab your spade and start your first trench. Feed your soil from below and let it teach you what real fertility looks like. If you found this guide useful, subscribe to Hydra Haven for more deep dive techniques drawn from history and field tested in the modern garden. Share this video with fellow gardeners who appreciate timeless practical knowledge, because the old ways still grow the best soil.